Welcome to Stache Sports episode 58, Jack Lambert, with Chris Letang. Chris Letang should be coming back for the Pittsburgh Penguins when they open up for a game on Thursday since he's been practicing. We have been missing Chris Letang for quite a while due to injury when he got injured in January. But hopefully Chris Letang comes back. But he wears number 58 for the Penguins. He wears number 58 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Jack Lambert was a great defensive player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that great defense in the 1970s, and he wore 58 for the Steelers. What a great player to wear 58. Right there, Jack Lambert, who played for the Steelers and was a great defensive player. And helped him win those 4 Super Bowls. What a great defensive player he was. What a great draft pick he was by the Steelers. And a great player. And a great Hall of Fame player by the Steelers. Jack Lambert. Today I've been watching the Pirates spring training game because I got it on Pittsburgh Sportsnet. They were playing the Boston Red Sox in Fort Myers, but that's not the story. The story today is rookie sensation that they've been all talking about. Connor Griffin had 2 bombs today, and they're big ones. One I think might have even went out to the ballpark, but there are 2 big bombs in downtown in Fort Myers for Connor Griffin. Let's hope he can keep doing good. He needs to fix up his defense a little bit. Had a little bit of a frail, but he's looking pretty good. Arthur Magillum I think is how to pronounce it, from the Tampa Bay Rays. So he also got a Brandon Lowe trade, plays center field. It's looking really good. And he's also young, so maybe he can be a good outfielder too. Guess we're going to need another outfielder opposite O'Neal Cruz and Brian Reynolds to be out there in the outfield. But Brian Reynolds and Cruz didn't play today. It was more of a young guys squad to try and see what kind of young guys they can do. Nick York, who's a promising third base, also looked good so far today for the Pirates. So that's good. The Pirates are actually doing good right now in spring training. Have only lost 1 game and they're looking really good. Hopefully they can get this hitting on in the regular season and they can finally do something when they have one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, even though he's going to go be pitching the World Classic soon for Team USA, Paul Skeens. But hopefully the Pirates can do something with this and they can get him going. And they have a good year this year. I think they're going to have a good year, but right now, I know spring training they have pitchers like I've been watching today that probably won't make the team and are more unlikely in the minor league system, but prospects are trying to work on, and hopefully one day they can be a good pitcher. But the Pirates are looking really good right now. And some of these players might not be on the opening day roster, but I really do hope Connor Griffin is. I think the Pirates need to do everything in their power to win now, since they have Paul Skeens, one of the best pitchers in all of I don't think they need to get goof around, in my opinion. I don't think they need to sit him in the minor leagues. I know he's only 19. I know it's rough. That's a tough decision since he's only 19 and only really played in single-A baseball last year and double-A baseball and hasn't touched a bat yet for the Indianapolis Indians, our triple-A baseball team. So I do know that's tough, and he doesn't have that many minor league games underneath him, and he might want to have more minor league games underneath him before it comes up. And he's only 19 years old. That's really young. He's just out of high school. He didn't even go to college. But I do think they need to really call him up. If they send him some runs, that will really help the Pirates. Help other batters get more hits. It'll help the other batters get more hits. And the other players around to be better and do better stuff. So that's why I really hope they call him up. But they're going to definitely call him up sometime this year because he is MLB's top prospect and he is a name to watch. So he'll definitely be up sometime in the near future. But I really do hope it is opening day. But that has been a big debate around here in the sports talk for the last couple of nights and the last few weeks. They think he's going to be called up. Some people don't think so, like Bob Pompiani or some people about him, but some people don't think he's going to be called up. It might be in a minor league system. I mean, that is good, but he needs to get called up sooner rather than later. Because maybe besides the Cubs and Brewers and Cardinals, Brewers and Cubs. Besides the Brewers and Cubs, in my personal opinion, I don't really think the Cardinals are going to be that good this year. I think the St. Louis Cardinals, I think the St. Louis Cardinals are more in a rebuild, and I don't think the St. Louis Cardinals are going to be good. But I know we have to watch out for the Cincinnati Reds, and the Cincinnati Reds are a young and upcoming team and a scrappy team, and they could be a force to reckon with. Milwaukee's definitely Milwaukee's definitely stepped up this year. And I think, and so have the Cubs. They're going to be teams to be reckoned with in the division. But if the Pirates can get the hitting, get better hitting than last year, I would greatly appreciate it. The Pirates are pretty bad in hitting last year and getting people on base and getting home runs. That definitely needs to change this year. So hopefully the additions of O'Harn and the rest of them, like they're doing right now, can get hits. I know they're getting a lot of hits in spring training, but they're winning 12-7 right now. I guess they need to have whole better relief pitchers. But I think some of these relief pitchers are going to be in the minor league, and I think they're just trying to work them out and see what they do. I don't think this is our official relief bullpen, but our bullpen definitely needs to be better than that. But the big story, like I said today, is rookie sensation Connor Griffin having 2 bombs and looking really good. He needs to fix up his fielding now, but he has the bat right now, and it's looking like a force to be reckoned with for the Pirates. But let's hope they can call him up, but we'll see what happens. I don't think he'll be in the minor leagues for long if he is called up. His first home run was 374 feet, and the second home run was 440 feet. That's pretty good. And Mungum is looking pretty good too. Mungum could be a name to look out for because, like I said, we're going to need another outfielder. We do have a password, but he's going to be good too. But we need Mungum, or however you say his name, Magellan, or however you say his name, to do good too. He was the guy we got from the Tampa Bay Rays in the trade for Brandon Lau. So that'll be good if we get 2 good players out of that trade, him and Brandon Lau, because we do need good outfield and outfield depth. That's a must. Hopefully we have a good first baseman. I mean, Nick York looked pretty good today, so maybe he might be a name to look out for. He might come up and might surprise us. Or Nick Gonzalez, he's looking pretty good too when he's a switch hitter and could do a second base and third base. So maybe they put Nick Gonzalez there, or maybe Jared Triolo. Jared Triolo didn't play today, I don't think, because they didn't have him out today. Gonzalez is looking real good too. Magellan was looking good, and Gonzalez is looking good today. And Griffin grounded out into third. He had grounded out and got more base hits, got another run on his name today, so that's good. And then Garcia's looking good, the password. But 12 hits, that's a lot of hits. A couple of them came on walks, but the Pirates looking really good. Hopefully they can continue this in the regular season when mostly of our major starters start. Some of these players like Connor Griffin might be on the opening day roster, but some of these other ones that play today, I don't know if they'll be on the opening day roster. Some of them might be like Nick Gonzalez and maybe Magellan, but I don't know about the rest. I don't know if the password, if he'll be on it, if he'll be on the opening day roster. Time will only tell. But right now during spring training, the Pirates are looking really good. And only 3-1 and 2 away, 3-1 and 2 away, and 2 wins, and haven't lost an away game yet this year. And they're looking really good to win right now. They're in the end of the 7th, 12-7, but hopefully the Pirates can do good this year. Hopefully they have a good year. I mean, we do have one of the best pitchers, in my opinion, in all of baseball and Paulo schemes, and we don't need to waste that. We do have a good bullpen. Good starters with them. We have Mitch Keller still, that was really good last year. And we're going to have Jerry Jones coming back from an injury, and he was really good before the injury last year. So if he can get back to his winning ways before the injury, that's going to be really good. And maybe Bubba Chandler. Bubba Chandler is a young prospect too. He came up and was a little rocky last year, but maybe he can get back to his winning ways before when he's one of the high prospects. So we can get back to that. That'd be really good for the Pirates. And if we can get the hitting back, maybe Brian Reynolds finally turned around the season this year and doesn't have a slump like he did last year. And Orneal Cruz maybe steps up and has more home runs this year. He was looking good last year, but then slowed down. So hopefully he can stay consistent this year and have a lot of home runs and a lot of base hits. Because that's what the Pirates need. They were last in home runs and hits last year. And pretty bad on base percentage. But they really need to fix that by having a best pitcher before he goes to the Yankees or somebody else. But let's hope they can fix that. Other games in the baseball, the New York Mets are losing. The New York Mets are tied 6-6. The Cubs are beating the Padres 3-0. The Dodgers are winning 7-3. The Rays are winning 12-1. won 12-1. The Yankees won 8-1. The Orioles won 10. The Orioles are winning 10-3. The Brewers are winning 5-0. Kansas City Royals are winning 5-4-1. Well, let's hope the Pirates, like I said, can keep doing good. Right now, what I think about spring training. We really do need hits, and they're really hitting the ball right now in spring training. But let's see what that does when the regular season counts and the starts counting for regular season, and he makes the opening day roster. I really do hope Connor Griffin makes the roster. And we'll be keeping a close eye on Connor Griffin's progress throughout the whole time he's in spring training and see how good he does, and see if they do call him up. If they call him up, they're going to have to probably pay him some money too. But I think they need to do that. They have the money to do it, and they need to start doing it to look like they can play these bigger boy teams like the Los Angeles Dodgers, New York Yankees, New York Mets, and so forth. If the Pirates want to be taken seriously, they need to call them up, in my personal opinion, and need to show that they want to be taken serious. Now the Pirates are winning 13-7. Well, that's good. That's good. But some of these players are younger players. But that's good if these are prospects and keep hitting. I know we're going up against other prospects since it's a preseason baseball game. But it's good looking so far, and hopefully continue, like I said, in the regular season. Tonight, the United States men's and women's hockey team got invited to the State of the Union. That's kind of interesting. I don't really like to talk politics, but I wonder when the last time a sports team got invited to a State of the Union. I hope they go. It'll be interesting to see what Trump does and how to recognize them, because it is the first time they've won gold in 46 years. So that's nice inviting them tonight. But hockey gets back tomorrow or Thursday, I think, in NHL. They're still on a break right now. And the NHL superstars are still partying. They came back from Milan, Italy yesterday and went to Miami. And now I think I might be going to the White House tonight for a Trump speech. But we'll see what happens to that. That was interesting. He invited them to see what he does to that. Tonight, the Boston Celtics play at 9 p.m. against the Phoenix Suns. I think the Boston Celtics are going to win tonight. I think Peyton Pritchard keeps on having a sensational month so far, and I think off the bench he has a bigger game again tonight for the Boston Celtics. I think Jaylen Brown has a big game. I think Quentin might have a big game for the Boston Celtics. Devin Booker might be big for the Suns, but I don't think it's going to outmatch the Celtics. I think Derek White might show up tonight and have a big game for the Celtics too. Or maybe Baylor Shireman. He might be a name to watch out for tonight for the Celtics. But I think the Celtics are going to win tonight against the Suns. They continue winning ways. Like I said, I think Peyton Pritchard's going to have a big night for the Boston Celtics again. He has been playing really hot of late and looking really good. He could be possibly 6th man of the year, and he's looking like a real good player coming off the bench for the Boston Celtics. He's going to be a force to reckon with if we make the playoffs. It's Peyton Pritchard. I really like Peyton Pritchard, and I'm glad he's doing good again. He's one of my favorite Celtic players right now, and I like how he comes off the bench and provides well for the team. He's a good player. They need to keep him for as long as they need to, because he's a good bench player and a good player to have on the team to help you win. But like I said, I think the Celtics win tonight against the Phoenix Suns. I think the Sixers bounce back against the Pacers, but I think it's a close game. The Sixers aren't looking that good this year either, but I think the Pacers aren't looking that good either, but I think the Sixers win. I think the Hawks beat the Wizards. I think the Mavericks beat the Brooklyn Nets. The Thunder are going to beat the Raptors in Toronto, because the Thunder are looking like the second best team and one of the best teams in all basketball this year. I don't think they're going to lose to Toronto. I think SGA and company are going to have a big night for the Thunder, and I don't think they're going to lose tonight, but we'll see. I got the Bulls over the Hornets. Both teams are in a rebuild, but I think the Bulls at home can find a way to beat the Charlotte Hornets, but we'll see. I got the Knicks. I got the Cavaliers over the Knicks. I got the Heat over the Bucks. The Warriors over the Pelicans. The Timberwolves over the Trailblazers. And the Magic over the Lakers. I think the Magic over the Lakers is a surprising upset. I think the Lakers are down right now, and I think the Magic can get on a roll tonight, and I think the Magic can beat them in LA. But we'll see. It's going to be a close game, but I think the Magic will win tonight. I think the Timberwolves will win, and that's on Peacock tonight. I think it's going to be. I don't think Portland has enough in the tank to beat them. I think the Warriors can beat the Pelicans, and I think the Heat can beat the Bucks because the Bucks aren't doing that good yet either this year. And I think the Heat might bounce back and be able to beat the Bucks tonight. The Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks. I think Duke beats Notre Dame tonight in college basketball. Notre Dame's not that good in the ACC this year, even though they're in the ACC, unlike in football where they're not in the conference. But I don't think Notre Dame's going to be able to beat Duke. I think NC State upsets Virginia tonight. That's going to be an upset. But NC State's looking really good of late, and I think they can bounce. And I think Virginia might take them a little lightly, and I think NC State upsets them tonight. I think UCF upsets BYU tonight. Ooh, that's on ESPN2 at 11 p.m. That's late. That's on 11 p.m. on ESPN2 tonight. I think UCF upsets BYU tonight and shows that they can belong in the Big 12 tournament this year. I think Miami Ohio beats Eastern Michigan. I think Texas Tech beats Cincinnati. I think St. Louis beats Dayton. I think Michigan beats Minnesota. I think Arizona beats Baylor. I think Iowa State beats Utah. And I think Tennessee beats Missouri. But we'll see what UCF can do tonight. They have a couple good wins against top teams this year and a couple losses this year against top teams. So it'll be interesting to see what UCF can do tonight in men's basketball. Hopefully they can win. Hopefully they can win and make an upset tonight. But BYU is not a team I'm messing around with. But they only have 7 losses. So tonight if they lose, have 8 losses. So that's not bad going into the tournament for UCF. But hopefully they can upset them tonight. But we'll see. Ugh. The scouting combine starts today. It's going to be interesting to see who the Steelers look for. If they need to look for receivers and see which receivers can fall down to their way. Hopefully there's a couple good ones from a couple of schools that they're looking at. But that's what they need. No matter who the quarterback is, we're going to need receivers. We're going to need to look at receivers in the first round. That's a lot of good receivers like Olave, Ibuka have been coming out of the first round. So we need to look at a receiver in the first round, in my personal opinion, no matter who the quarterback is. Because all we really have is DK Metcalf right now. But it'd be interesting to see what happens. But what Mel Kiper's latest mock draft, he has before the combine starts, he has Mendoza going number 1. That's easy. That's what everybody thinks. Mendoza's going number 1. But he's not over right sometimes in these predictions, so we'll see. We're going to keep going over these different mock drafts by him. And that's true. He's had the Jets taking Caleb Downs. We'll see the Jets take safety Caleb Downs number 2. We're going to need some backfield after losing the cornerback last year, Sauce Gardner, to the Colts. He has the Arizona Cardinals taking offensive outside linebacker Davis Bradley from Texas Tech. That might be a good number 3 pick. At number 4, had the Titans taking linebacker from Ohio State. He has some guy go from Utah at number 5. We'll go back up later on to see what else he has. But we're going to go down to number 20 to see what he has for the Steelers. Since this is the Steelers podcast. Ooh. At 21, he has the Steelers taking Ty Simpson. I think that's a bad trade. I think that'd be bad for the Steelers to take Ty Simpson. Just like I said, they need a receiver. So I don't know which receivers will be available by then. But I don't think Mel Kiper's going to be right there. I don't think they're going to be taking Ty Simpson because they're really talking really high about Will Howard. I don't think they're going to be taking Ty Simpson number one because I think they think Aaron Rodgers might come back this year too. But we'll see. I don't think Mel Kiper is going to be right. I think they're going to take some kind of receiver. And I'll be looking into more receivers and who I think could fall down to number 21 for the Pittsburgh Steelers to take. Since that's where we're trading, that's what we're drafting right now, unless we make a big trade to trade up for a topper pick or higher pick. But we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully the Pittsburgh, but I don't think that'll be a good pick to take Ty Simpson. I don't know if he's going to be a good NFL quarterback, one. And two, I think we should give Will Howard another try. And three, I think next year's quarterback class is a lot higher. And I think whoever quarterback is, no matter if it's Ty Simpson's going to need receivers, and I think he go receiver in the first round. I think he might be able to get Ty Simpson in the second round or trade up and get Ty Simpson in the second round if you really believe at Ty Simpson. So I don't think they should draft Ty Simpson in the first round, but that's what I personally think. I think they need to get a receiver, in my personal opinion, but we'll see. And like I said, later on this week, I'll be reading more into that. But the Pirates looking really good right now in spring training. Hopefully they can continue that when it continues in the regular season, and they can have a good year this year. Because the last few years, they haven't been looking good. Hopefully they can finally fight for a wild card or even the playoff spot and be above 500, since we do have the best pitcher in all of baseball. And Paul Schemes. But we do need to keep hoping they can keep hitting and doing that good. Because last year they were pretty bad at hitting, even though they had the best pitcher who won a Cy Young last year, Paul Schemes. But they need to keep doing good. But they need to keep on. But they're doing good right now in spring training. But we'll see what happens when regular season starts. Hopefully nobody gets injured and there's no major setbacks. But hopefully they can come out strong in the season opener. And hopefully they bring up Connor Griffin. But we'll see. Right now he's been doing pretty good in the preseason and spring training. And today he had 2 home runs and 2 big bombs, making a name for himself and making it hard for them to making a hard decision to see if he comes up or stays down. But thank you for watching Stache Sports episode 58.